welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're doing well. Welcome to another video and welcome to my March TBR Tarot video. Where is the year going? I feel like every single month I ask myself the same question, and I am baffled by the fact that we keep making it through the months so freaking quickly. But nonetheless, we are ready to do another TBR video, another month for pulling tarot cards to pick my books for the month. I'm very excited to share with you my reading from last month and what I plan on reading in March, so if you are excited for that, stay tuned, and without further ado, let's get into it. So before we go into my reading plans for the month of March, let's wrap up how I did in February, see if I read everything, and if I'm going to take a punishment or get a reward. So for the Eight of Moons, I was supposed to read Love Flushed by Evie Mitchell, and I did read that. For the Hanged Man, I was to read Echoes of You by Catherine Cowles, and I did read this. For the Knight of Wands, it was a Treat Yourself, and I chose Endurance by Amy Dawes, and I did read this. For the Four of Stars, I was supposed to read Thief of Silver and Souls, and I did read this. For the Emperor, I was supposed to read The Worst Best Man, and I did read this. For the Chariot, I was supposed to read A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Full transparency, I am in the middle of this book, and I don't plan on finishing it before the month is over, but I am working my way through it. For the Six of Moons, I was supposed to read The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez, and I did read this. For the Ace of Stars, I chose A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair, and I did read this. For the Three of Stars, I swapped out my original book for Caution and Love by Kay Rodriguez, and I did read this. For the Knight of Wands, I was to read Love Interrupted by Sadie Rose, and I did read this. For the Devil, I was supposed to read The Predator by Rue Nix, and I did read this. And finally, we have the Knight of Stars, and I was supposed to read Anastasia by Sophie Lark, and I DNF'd this. Okay, so as you guys saw, I did read everything except for ACOTAR, which I'm currently in the middle of, but I told myself this year I'm going to be taking my time with my annotations, and I am annotating ACOTAR, and because I have already started it, I'm not going to count this as a not finishing my TBR for the month. However, that being said, because I didn't completely finish my TBR, I'm also not going to be taking a reward. So I feel like that is a better way to kind of meet in the middle with a reward and a punishment, and even though I technically didn't finish my TBR by the time the month is over, I am not taking a reward for not finishing it either. So I hope that is okay. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into my reading plans for March. So I'm hoping to obviously fit in my book club pick for the month of March for the Sweeney Readers, which is Rock Bottom Girl by Lucy Score. So that is my only really big goal for the month. If you guys don't know what the Sweeney Readers is, we are a romance book club hosted by myself, Karina from She Dreams in Words on Instagram, Dana from Dana Ella, and Nikki from Nikki's Bookish Coven. Every month we come together and read a romance book. If you would like to join us, I will leave all of their information as well as the Sweeney Readers Instagram down in the description box below if you would like to check us out. But yeah, I need to fit in the book club pick for the month of March, and then I'm just trying to, just like every single month, fit in books that will complete series or continue on with series. I'm just trying to read some of my anticipated releases, and then anything else that I can squeeze in for the time being, I would love to do that. I'm trying to spend more time mood reading as well, so hopefully I don't have too many books this month. Crossing my fingers, we shall see. But I also would like to do my spinner wheels for the month of March. I didn't do them last month because last month was chaotic with the rom-com Swoonathon, so I'm bringing back my spinner wheels for the month of March. So let's go ahead and talk about those. I'm going to start off with my what is it called? Stuff Your Kindle Day spinner wheel that I put together of all the books that I've put on my Kindle basically, and it's a lot. But I got, what is it even called? I don't even remember what the freaking name of the book is called. And I got Signs of Seduction. This is by Eliza Lovelace. I don't know anything about this, and I looked it up on Goodreads. It's only 51 pages. It's a erotic female novella. That's all I know. It says maybe that it's paranormal. It's tagged as paranormal on Goodreads. I have no idea, but it has a really low rating, so crossing my fingers. I like this one. I have DNF'd quite a few of my spinner wheel picks, so I'm hoping this is not the case. Then for my subscription box book pick, I got Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong, and I'm excited to get to this one. This one came in a fairy loot. I've heard mixed reviews. I haven't heard the best of things, and I have not loved Chloe Gong's other work. I have read the entire duology that she has. I cannot remember it. The one that Shakespeare inspired, Romeo and Juliet. I can't think of the name of it. I read both of those and I didn't love them. They weren't terrible, but I didn't love them. So I'm definitely curious to see what I'm going to think of her adult debut. And then finally, we have my series continuation spinner wheel. And this one landed on a doozy this month. And that is The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer, which is absolutely perfect because me and my besties are reading this series as a buddy read every month. So like literally this couldn't have worked out more perfectly if I had tried. But I did not read Scarlet last month. So I'm definitely going to have to squeeze in both Scarlet and Crest this month. But I don't even care because I don't have to add an extra book to my TBR that I didn't already have to read. So it worked out literally perfect for me. All right, I will try to fit those 3 books into my TBR if I can, but without further ado, let's go into the pulls for the month of March. Alright friends, since we're not doing a punishment or a reward, let's go ahead and just shuffle these up and get into our first pull. Okay, the shuffling is done. Let's pull for pull number 1. The Emperor. Alrighty, so for pull number 1, we got the Emperor, which is a pull from last month. So we are starting off strong this month with a total of 9 pulls now. And this is to read a billionaire romance. And for this, I'm going to be reading The Highest Bidder by Sarah Kate, the fifth book in the Salacious Players Club series. This has been one that I have been wanting to read for quite some time. I am chomping at the bit to get to Madam, but I've been wanting to read this one as well for so long. I love a good age gap romance and a silver fox at that, so I'm excited to get around to this one. All of the books in the series take place at a BDSM club, and I just love that setting. It does something to my soul, and I'm very excited to get to this one. Other than age gap and silver fox and BDSM, I don't know much about the tropes of this one, but I am excited to give it a go. Okay, pull number 2 out of 9. The Seven of Moons. Pull number 2 got us the Seven of Moons, and that is to read a popular book. And for this, I'm going to finally be finishing this series, and I'm going to read Hunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton, the second and final book in the Cat and Mouse duet. I've been talking about reading this one for a long time, and it's about damn time I put it on a list and get it done, because I can't keep saying that I'm going to finish the series and then just never doing it. So it's your time to shine. I'm going to finish this. This one is the second book in the series, and it follows Zaid and Adeline is a stalker, dark romance that I just had so much fun with. I'm excited to get around to book 2. It left off on quite a big cliffhanger, so I'm crossing my fingers I like it. I know this book is very dark. It's much darker than the first I've heard, so that's the reason why I've kind of been putting it off, but I'm still very excited to read it. Let's shuffle for pull number 3. The Four of Moons. Up next, we have the Four of Moons, and this is an Isaac pick. And every time we get Isaac pick, I get so scared. So this time I was like, you're not gonna screw me over. I'm gonna give you a choice between 6 books. I will put the picture up on the screen of the books that I gave him to choose between. And honestly, I stacked it with some fantasies that I was hoping to get to, because I am trying to get my sub box books down. And he ended up picking The Atlas Paradox by Olivia Blake, which is perfect because, like I said, I am trying to work on series, and this is the second book in the Atlas series. I am intrigued to see what this one is going to bring to the table. The first one wasn't bad by any means, but it was very smart and pretentious and a little bit over my head, so I'm curious to see if I'm going to enjoy the second book more than the first. I did really enjoy the characters. The characters are a shining star in this book, and Olivia Blake has a way of writing these characters that felt very real. They're so unlikable, but somehow I was rooting for them at the end, so I'm really curious to see what I'm going to think of book 2, and hopefully I love it. Alrighty, pull number 4. The Moon. Pull number 4 got us The Moon, and this is to read an emotional book. I love a good cry, y'all know that, so I'm excited to get back to this one. It's a little bit of a cheating move because I am currently halfway through this book, but I needed extra motivation to pick this up just because I am not reading a lot of books physically anymore, and this is a physical read, and I just need to finish it. I've heard nothing but good things. Literally, this is one of Nikki's favorite books, so I have to finish it, and that is The Fabric of Our Souls. This is by K.M. Nova. Hopefully I said that right. This is a dark, emotional romance that takes place at a rehab psychiatric ward situation. It's kind of like a come and go process. You can like leave at will, but it's these people that have chosen to go and get help for whatever ailments they are suffering with, and it's the 2 people that are at this psychiatric ward that fall in love. And Nikki said that she sobbed at the end, so I know it's definitely emotional. The subject matter is very dark, so please check the trigger warnings before going into this one, but I did like the first half that I read, and I'm very curious to see what I'm going to think of the rest of it. That being said, I think that this book currently got picked up by a publisher. I don't know if it's available in print right now. It might be available for only pre-order, but I am excited to get back to this one. Pull number 5. The Two of Stars. Pull number 5 got us 2 of Stars, which is a friends to lovers romance. I love a good friends to lovers, and I'm excited to read another bestie favorite, and that is Always Mine by Laura Pavlov, the first book in the Honey Mountain series. Karina loves this series so much, and I'm excited to finally get around to book 1. I've had it on my list for quite some time. It is on my 24 in 2024, so I'm excited to get to this one and hopefully love it as much as Karina does, but I'm curious. Pull number 6. The 3 of Stars. Our next pull is another duplicate from last month, the 3 of Stars, which is to read a book with multiple perspectives. And for this, I decided to be very smart and slot in my book club pick for the month, and that is Rock Bottom Girl by Lucy Score. Ignore the sticker, I can't get it off, and I'm gonna pretend like we don't see it, okay? But I am very excited to get around to another Lucy Score. I read 2 Lucy Scores last month and 1 in January, so we're gonna just keep the trend going of reading a Lucy Score every single month. This one is, I believe, a second chance fake dating romance. I don't know if it's really second chance, but it's like the bad boy turned soccer coach, and she's the track coach, and they are teaching each other something. I don't know. It's fake dating. I don't know. I'm gonna love it. I know I am. I love Lucy Score. I love her writing. I've only read 1 book that I didn't give like 5 stars or a 4.5, but overall, I really love Lucy Score's work, and I'm excited to get around to another chunky book of hers. Pull number 7. The 5 of Stars. Up next, we got the 5 of Stars, and that is of course to read a 5-star prediction. And I'm very, very excited because I'm going to be reading Tempt Our Fate by Kat Singleton. Oh, I'm so excited. I read the first book in this series last year and I loved it. Nikki also read it last year and loved it, and she really, really like pushed me, my want and my need, to pick up the first book, and I just loved it so freaking much. So I'm excited to get around to book 2. I think this one is also a billionaire romance. It's like a small town hate to love situation, and I'm really, really excited for it. I think it also, maybe if I'm not mistaken, I might have read this somewhere. It might be Marriage of Convenience, but I don't know for sure. I'm excited. Kat Singleton has written a book in the series that I have loved so much, but then she's also written some other stuff that people have said is like not as good. So I'm nervous that I'm not going to love it as much as the first one, but if it's even anywhere as close to it, I'm literally going to be so pumped. So I will be getting myself a physical copy of this one sometime in March, but I just don't have it in my hands right now. What would have been our last pull number 8. The Knight of Stars. We got another pull from last month. Yes, we did. And that is The Knight of Stars, and that is to read a book with royalty. And for this, I'm going to be reading Malice by John Gwynne. This is the first book in a very epic adult fantasy series, and I'm a little nervous to read it. I don't have my physical copy with me. I do own a copy. It's just in storage somewhere, so I will be picking this one up on my Kindle, but I don't read a lot of adult fantasy very often, and I don't read a lot of adventure adult fantasy very often, so this one makes me very nervous, but the girls and I are buddy reading this book together, so we're gonna go on the journey together. I won't be alone, hopefully, and we will enjoy it quite a bit. So crossing my fingers that I like this one. I literally don't know anything about it, but I do know the first line of the synopsis mentioned a king, so I was like, perfect, royalty, it fits. I needed to slot it in because there ain't no way I'm mood reading that throughout the month, and just crossing my fingers that I like it. So I've heard great things. Literally everybody loves like the ending of the series, but will I get to it? Who knows? Pull number 9 out of now 10. The Knight of Pentacles. Back-to-back prompts from last month, and I think I also got this prompt in January, so I don't know what it is with this prompt in particular, but it needs to leave me alone. Also, that being said, I think I forgot to pull the extra prompt for this particular extra prompt, so I will be pulling another one at the end, just because I'm stupid and I didn't realize it. But anyways, the Knight of Pentacles. This is to read a book for a video idea. I have been working on a video for the past couple of months. I had to put it on hold last month because last month was crazy, as I mentioned before, but I am hoping to pick that back up and finish at least part 1 of this video idea in March, and that is to read Love Unexpected by QB Tyler. I am working on giving authors a second chance vlog, and she is an author that I would like to give a second chance to. Hopefully I like it. I believe this one is a stepfather-stepdaughter romance. Yeah, I have no idea if this is going to be good. I have no idea. I could be wrong about the synopsis also. This doesn't have anything on the back, so maybe I just heard that wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It's very taboo, very dark, but I'm also really excited for it. Even though I didn't love QB's first work that I read from her, I have high hopes that I'm going to like this one. We are now up to 11 pulls, so pull number 10. The 9 of Stars. Up next, we have The 9 of Stars, and this is to read a book in a series, and for this, I'm going to be reading Stone Princess by Daphne Perry. The first book was Steel King, Steel Prince, Steel something. I'll put the picture up on the screen. The second book is Riven Knight, and this is the third book in the series. We've been reading one book every single month to finish up this series. Have I read book 2 yet? No, but I will get to it this month as well because I don't have a choice. So I have to read both of those books in order to basically pass this TBR because I will not read them out of order. I don't know what this one is about. I really loved the first book in the series. I gave it 5 stars, so I'm excited to see what I think of books 2 and books 3. And what is hopefully our last pull number 11. The 7 of Stars. Up next, we got the 7 of Stars, and that is to read a book with foiling on the cover. I'm so excited because I'm going to be reading one of my most anticipated releases of the year, and that is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I love Ali so much. I have read everything that she has published so far, and I'm very, very excited for Bride. This is her first time dipping her toe into paranormal romantasy, and literally say less. She could write anything and I would read it, but she writes this, and I'm eating that shit up. I've heard nothing but good things. Literally everyone has been talking about it and loving it, so I'm hoping that I am not the exception to the rule. I'm very excited to get around to this. It is a werewolf vampire romance, marriage of convenience, enemies to lovers. Yes, 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 yes. I'm so excited for this, and hopefully I love it as much as everything else that Ali has written. All right, hear me out, friends. I do have to pull another prompt to make up for the fact that I didn't pull 12. I was supposed to have 12. This is only 11 books in total, so I'm gonna pull another one. But if it's another pull from last month, I might just cry. I might just cry, okay? So let's just go ahead, have a moment of silence, a prayer sent out for me that it's not a pull from last month, and let's pull our 12th and hopefully final prompt. Okay, let's see. I'm nervous. The Ace of Moons. I think this is from last month. I think it is. I'm gonna cry. Oh my god, bless my soul. It is not from last month. It was the Ace of Stars from last month. This is the Ace of Moons to read a book with an opposite cover. So I last talked about Bride by Ali Hazelwood, so I need to pick a book with the opposite cover to this one. So let me have a look around and decide what I'm going to read. Okay, so comparatively, Bride is very dark, grungy, you know, giving fall. This is giving spring, so I feel like this is the perfect book to pick up in order to have an opposite cover. And for this, I'm going to be reading Mixed Signals by B.K. Borison, the third book that's currently published in the Love Light series. I'm so excited. I'm literally so excited for this book. I heard nothing but good things about the third book, and I love the first 2 books. They have just brought me so much joy. We're like a warm hug reading it, and I'm just so pumped for the third book in this series. I don't really know the synopsis of this. I know it's small town, obviously, but I don't know really what the tropes are. I just know I'm going to love it. B.K. Borison has not done me wrong, and I'm hoping that will continue for this book as well. Alright, I'm definitely missing a few books here in my stack, and it's a hefty one to say the least, but I am excited for all the books on my TBR for this month. If you've read any of these, feel free to let me know what you thought of them, and if you didn't love them, tell me you didn't, lie to me, because I don't have the mental energy to go through books I'm not going to enjoy. Also, feel free to let me know down below what you're reading in the month of March, and if you have any goals that you're trying to hit during this month. I love you guys so much. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to give it a big ol' thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and of course, leave any comments, questions, and suggestions in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!
Baby, turn it down like a sweet and ready. Go slow, keep it nice and steady. Know that you've been keeping patience.